Yo guys, welcome back to Kampai Sugai Podcast. I don't know if my wife just switched to you, but you could be throwing up a shotgun.
It's fine. It is completely fine.
That's fine. For our listeners, you don't know who this is because you're just hearing a voice right now. You're not seeing anybody.
Yes.
It's like ASMR kind of. Yeah.
I could do that later.
Who's that person?
Depends how much we drink. No.
Well, depending on they might have read the title already, so they already know.
That's true. That's true.
For people that are watching, you know, we have a really special guest today. Someone that I actually met when I was doing Talk Story Podcast, and we've always talked about doing an episode together. It's been it's pre-COVID,
Yeah.
which is pretty crazy,
Yeah.
you know, because so much has changed. But I am really happy to bring this guy on in the new rebirth of the podcast.
Yeah.
And it's not really a rebirth; it's more of a something. Rebrand.
Yeah.
Thank you for the word.
You're welcome.
Rebrand of the podcast. He's gonna show us some tricks today. some very interesting tricks.
Okay.
But this guy's a practitioner. He's been in the media, the entertainment business for a long time. In the behind the scenes, in the shadows, but he also likes to be in front of the camera too. So this is pretty cool that I'm bringing him on the show. I want you guys to give a round of applause and raise your glass to Mr. Kahi Tobosa-Lima.
I'll raise to them as well. Aloha. Good to be on.
Did I say
finally.
That right? Tobosa-Lima?
Tobosa-Lima.
Tobosa-Lima.
Yeah, yes.
All right.
Good to be on, finally.
Kampai. Salud.
Kampai.
You say salud.
Salud.
Too. Yeah.
Salud. Salud is a good one.
Yeah. I had a brain fart the last podcast because they were like, oh, what do we what is the Filipino way of saying? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is embarrassing because I'm half Filipino and I should know this.
You're more Filipino than me. I'm only 25%. But it's because I'm around the culture. But anyways, that's... Yeah.
Well, I drank a little bit, so... You know.
Okay.
But he didn't.
Okay.
He was non-alcoholic. I was alcoholic that episode.
So he didn't drink anything?
He drank water.
He drank water.
And I had a fruit punch beer.
That doesn't sound good.
It was a little strange, but I like fruit punch, so I bared with it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's how we do. That's how we do over here. All right.
Okay. I'm about to find out how you guys do over here. I can't say we yet.
No, we can say we.
Okay, we can say we. All right. Okay.
First off, how's it been? I mean, you look like you lost quite a bit of weight, actually. You look good. You actually look not like thin, but you look like there's more muscle mass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's been good. I think like a lot of us, I can't speak for. Let me just speak for me. Mm-hmm. I kind of got comfortable and lazy during the whole COVID thing. Yeah. There was a lot of excuses not to work out. I tried to do those push-ups and air squats and sit-ups in the beginning of COVID, and that worked out for about a month maybe, and then kind of got bored. But I gained a lot of COVID weight.
Okay.
Maybe like 40 pounds. So
that's a lot.
It was a lot. And there was kind of a point. So this is actually the third time I kind of got out of shape and then hit a point where I'm like, all right, it's happening again. I think we got to stop it now or it's going to kind of get out of control. So that was in January.
Okay.
I weighed myself. I was 236. And that was kind of my point where I kind of looked at myself in the mirror again and was like, okay, it's time to kind of take the dieting thing serious. It's time to kind of take the workout thing serious again. Mm-hmm. And this is when, I forget what the level was, but when gyms started opening up again. So it was a perfect time for me to kind of get active again, get rid of the excuses, and kind of get back into shape. So now I'm like 200 pounds now. So from January to, it's December. It is December. So a whole year almost, wow. 36 pounds. I lost it in about a year.
Hey, you know what? That gets another round of applause. All right.
Play the sound effect.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be the applause in the background.
There you go.
So why did you gain all that COVID weight? Is it just because is it like a complacency, kind of just getting into that mode where it's like, what am I supposed to do right now? Because a lot of people during COVID, they actually did something else. They actually, lost a lot of weight instead. Kind of a.
It's because I was already out and active. I was already out. I was training. I was going to the gym. So I guess I fall into the other side of the spectrum to where they took all of that away. So I can either go outside and run around the block X amount of times and do some push-ups, or like you said, complacency. I got lazy. I just kind of lost track, you know? It went from being free to kind of being in this, hey, we're on lockdown. You guys can't leave the house. You can go to the store. That's about it. So it was an interesting place mentally to be. But I think another thing that kind of came out of that is I got to learn more about myself in a way that if that COVID or lockdown didn't happen, I wouldn't have been able to kind of like self-reflect and really think about life. And so there was a lot of things that happened outside of me getting kind of out of shape. I got kind of stronger mentally, you know. So it was interesting that last year. Yeah.
And you're already a strong mental guy already. So strong mental.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that good.
That just means I've been through things and we're still here. So that yeah. Thank you for that.
And I mean we instantly clicked when I first met you because you're older, but technically we're around the same age. So you know, we've been around like the church scenes. Yeah. Of course, serving a lot. I think we really connected on our talk with like about serving and for me, I remember I was saying like, you know, I got burnt out, you know, especially from doing it for like 10 years of doing it. Now outside of serving, I'm doing stuff like this. I'm still pretty active, you know, which is pretty interesting. I never thought I was going to be this active.
You know, and you got to be exposed to things to see how you show up. You know what I mean? Going back to the serving and all that. And it's not that it's not what it seems. In order for you to really to see and experience what that's like, you have to do it yourself. You know, you got to be there. You got to be active. It doesn't just, not just in regards to church, just anything. Yeah. You got to get that firsthand experience to really walk through that and then form your own opinion or a fact. That's why we connected, because we're like, hey, this is what we did, and this is our thoughts. Hey, you feel the same? Yeah. So it's, you know, and that was in, where were we? Waikele.
Yeah, we were just having lunch in Waikele. Yeah. Was it at Safeway? Oh, well, it was right outside Safeway. Was Safeway even there? Safeway was there. Okay. Because I remember the food trucks, but we didn't go to the food trucks. We had the sandwiches from Safeway. Okay. I believe. And there was those umbrella chairs outside. Yeah, the umbrella. Okay. Okay, yeah. Because I parked by Starbucks, walked down. For those of you guys who know the Waikele area, park by Starbucks, walk down. But if you're from the mainland and you're coming and visiting, then across from the outlets. You guys will know where the outlets are. Oh, yeah. That's across the street. So I'm from the west side. We're on the east side right now. So what do you think about the food trucks over there? Because I actually just started trying out kind of more cuisine on that side, just because Windward side is so limited these days. It depends what you're craving or what you're hungry for. The quality is decent. I only say decent because I've traveled, I've tasted authentic Mexican food. Not Chamorro food. There's a Chamorro, I don't know if it's still there, but there's a Chamorro food truck over there. I haven't tried it. Okay. But there's a Korean place. There's a pizza. No, the pizza place is gone. Yeah. So there's really, there's only like a Spanish place you can get tacos and stuff. So they're okay. Okay. They're not West Coast California, but they're pretty decent for here. Korean food's okay. I think that's it. There's like two other ones I can't remember. I mean, there's malasadas there too. Oh, those ones. So those ones you're talking about by the freeway. By the freeway. I'm over here thinking by the outlets. Oh, okay. So there's the ones on the side by the outlets. Yes. But the one you're talking about is by the lechon. Yeah. The Hawaiian food. The pet store. By Petco. Yeah, by Petco. So I haven't really gone over there. But of course, malasadas is always good. You can't really go wrong with malasadas. But I think if you really want like good food, go to the outlets. Go to the outlets. There's a reason why they're there. Okay. That's all location, right? So interesting. So, I mean, do you know why they like separate like that, or is it just because they have to pick their spots, or they're just like the original one was the one by the outlets. Okay. I think what maybe management saw that, hey, there's all these parking stalls by the fence that you can see going H1. That hey, maybe we could just use this to make a little food truck thing, and that's probably what they did. But the original one was the outlets. The outlets. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I remember. I mean, I don't want to say back in the day because I'm not that old. But, but what is back in the day? But back in the day, maybe like want to say like 5-6 years ago.
Okay,
I don't
that's
remember.
not too far back.
I don't remember too many food trucks being around that area. Just more so, just food venues too. Even at the Waikele outlets, I don't remember too many.
It's just those food trucks. I just remember those food trucks, but those are one of those things. If you know, you know, because they're all the way in the back. They're in the back of the parking lot, and I think they're specifically targeting tourist shoppers and all that stuff. That's why it reflects on the price. So you're gonna pay a little more, right? But that's where they started off at, was in the back of that place. I think they try to reach out more to the local side because it's free marketing. Right, you see it all the time.
Yeah.
You're driving there, oh, there's food trucks over there. Hey, we go, and it's right by the cutoff too, so it's super smart from a marketing standpoint. So it's like, hey,
You know, that makes sense because when you're doing a road trip and a lot of the signs, people pay for those big signs,
the
like
billboards, yeah,
Denny's, you know,
Yeah.
next right, or McDonald's, hey,
Yeah.
Make a D's, man,
Yeah.
and then 2 rates, you know. So on a marketing standpoint, I know what you mean by that because it's right there. You
Yeah.
can see it right off the freeway. So
yeah. It was a smart move from a business standpoint. It's definitely a smart move on them. And then they also have First Fridays over there. They do like a farmer's market. A bunch of food trucks come out. So I don't know if you knew that.
Okay, I didn't know that.
First Friday, maybe next month or whatever. First
Yeah.
Friday, go check it out. They got a lot of different vendors at the
Hey,
Waikele
well,
place.
good thing we have this recorded because I might want to look back and say, hey, First
Yeah,
Fridays,
go look,
you know what I mean?
go look back at that because it's good. We go every First Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thank you for the tip.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, Kahi with the tips over here, man. Hey,
I just get out. I just go out there. I go explore. You know, that's all it is.
like I said, practitioner, explorer. This guy, he gets around, man. You know?
I get out and I stay active.
Entertainer.
I guess it just happens naturally. It's not like I try to be that way.
That's true.
I think it's just who I am. you
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
Real good entertainers are just people who are naturally that way. Like
Yeah.
Kevin Hart's always been that way. You know,
Yeah.
all the top guys you see, they're just strong personalities, but they're also open, funny, they're social. So
I think a lot of that comes from like life experience too. Maybe their stories they had back in the day. Maybe their father was really funny. I mean,
Yeah.
with Kevin Hart.
yeah.
I mean, I remember he would talk about his dad being on drugs, but I mean.
But he made that into
a joke, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that's super negative, but I mean, the fact that, you know, I don't want to say the joke because I mean,
Yeah.
this is a raunchy podcast, but
Yeah.
that one's a little bit too raunchy.
Wait, hold on. It's a raunchy podcast?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it could be. I'm just putting a disclaimer out there just in case people go, "Hey, that's too raunchy," you know.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna say, yeah, this is a raunchy podcast, but
I think
it's
the
not.
great thing about the example that you just mentioned is that along with entertainment, there's also a form of leadership in a sense where, hey, you know what, his dad, this is his upbringing, and I can relate to this because my upbringing was, you know, kind of rough and all that, but we made, at some point in our lives, we made a decision to take this experience and do good with it, or allow ourselves to become victims of so-and-so experience. So the super ultra successful people you see who have also been through struggles figured out a way to leverage these experiences to help kind of elevate them to that level.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
true.
And that's kind of going back to the whole COVID thing, lockdown, and kind of reevaluating my life and learning more about myself. I really got into, like, I mean, we call it self-help, the Tony Robbins and all that stuff, but like there's real value there if you really take the time to read these books. I mean, we don't even have to read books nowadays. We can go on YouTube. There's a bunch of good resources out there. But
audiobooks, there's audiobooks.
Audiobook. You didn't have to. You could just lay it on and somebody could read to you in whatever accent you want to. You know, it's like there's
It's
no
like a bedtime story.
there's no excuse nowadays to not better yourself, whether it's in a professional
true.
realm or just the value that you bring to life. You know, and that's kind of my. That's not kind of, that is my goal now. That's my target, is to be somebody of value. That's who I'm striving, who I'm building to be now. You know, so COVID, I'm thankful for the lockdown, because without that, it wouldn't have, I guess, accelerated my journey, my mental journey.
Yeah.
To kind of.
To make you a Super Saiyan, you know.
To be a Super Saiyan.
To
yes.
be a Super Saiyan.
Exactly. We were in the hyperbolic chamber for, it's almost, what is it? Almost 2 years. When was 2019?
2019.
No, 2020.
Well, 2020 was COVID, but I mean, you've been in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Oh, okay.
For,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you've been in the hyperbolic time chamber for a long time.
Jeez, man. Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay.
You've been training.
I've been training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Training. Well, physically, you've been training with jiu-jitsu, but also, you know, mentally.
Yeah.
We can talk about jiu-jitsu because let's get into this. So,
okay.
I want to bring this guy on the show because well, first of all, I wanted him to show me proper technique for, you know, rear naked chokes. For people that are listening, you just need to see the actual.
But I will articulate it in the best way that I can.
Sure, I'll probably hold the mic if you when you show. But we'll get into it first.
Okay, yeah. I was like, let's not jump straight into
we won't jump straight into it.
Okay, I was like, okay, all right.
We'll ease into it. If you have to stretch, you can stretch.
No, I'm good. I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready?
No, I mean, not to choke you. No. I'm just ready to put me to sleep. I'm just always prepared. You're just always prepared. But okay.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good mentality.
That's
always
what self-defense is. You're always ready. Not that's because you need it, but if you need it, you have it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the self-defense mentality.
I actually, you know, so I'll talk about mine. So like during COVID, you know, there's a few things I wanted to kind of try because, well, one because I just thought it was, you know, good to just kind of learn more self-defense and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is before I broke my leg.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So I actually been doing boxing, practicing boxing and stuff like that. Kickboxing. I've been getting better with my you know, hip rotation.
Okay.
Yeah, the torque. I've been shouts to Israel Adesanya. You know, I've been looking up. I've been practicing. My wife knows. I've been practicing his. He does a question mark kick.
Okay.
Into a right punch.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Wait, hold on. The second part. Okay.
So he because he does that in his fights. He actually did that in the Gastelum fight, which Gastelum was able to, you know, dodge everything. But he does this really interesting kick. He does two leg kicks, but he looks straight forward.
Yeah.
And then he does a question mark kick where he looks down at the leg, but then he goes for the high, and then he goes for the right punch.
But is it, when you say two kicks, is he throwing two leg kicks with the lead leg, or is he going left, right, and then is he going question mark?
Just the rear. Just the rear leg.
Okay.
And then he goes for the third kick is the question mark.
So he baits. By the time he throws, so we're getting technical right now, but it's because I appreciate technique. So he throws two from the back leg.
Yeah.
The third one, because for those
just
of you guys...
Just to train it, just to, you know...
Yeah, right. If you guys don't know what a question mark kick is, it's you're kicking exactly as a question mark looks.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So you're starting low, you're going high. Mm-hmm. So he's baiting the low so that he can hit you on the high. With the high, yeah. Okay. Into the right hand.
Yes.
Or left hand.
Or right hand after.
Okay.
Because he leans into it. So he does the question mark kick, then he leans to the right hand.
Bro, you've been practicing that?
I've been practicing it. I can show you after. But I've been bad with maybe I gotta stretch a little bit to do more of the high kicks.
Yeah.
You know, to the head. Then again, my I'll shout out to Bobby Santos.
Okay, we were just talking about him.
We'll talk about Bobby Santos a little bit. That's my
practice.
My practice. He'll be showing up very soon, or if he hasn't already, I'm actually gonna make some videos. I'm actually maybe I'm talking about this way in advance because I'm thinking about
in the future.
Right? This is we're recording in December.
Yeah.
Even though this is gonna come out in January.
Okay.
But I'm gonna make some skit videos. So Bobby Santos, you know.
Yeah. Shout out to him.
Yeah. Been beating him up.
BS.
All this time.
Apparently.
Yeah. He takes it, man. He takes it on the shins, the arms. Now he just has shoulders.
Well, it does. Yeah.
And he has a strong core.
Strong sternum. Yeah.
Yep. And that guy got a solid head, man. I mean.
Did you ever accidentally kick the bottom part?
I did. Well, no, I didn't accidentally. It was on purpose, just for technique. You know what I mean?
Cool.
But I didn't like kick it and then that hurts.
Okay,
you know?
that's why I say
I have good self-awareness.
Good. I say accidentally because I mean for people who train, accidents happen. Right? We're practicing on the dummy. We're going boom, 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 and then we miss the pad and we hit the bottom part. I've done it, so it hurts. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It hurts.
There was only one accident I did. So I was practicing that combo, and actually I missed with the right hand, so I extended it and it hurt my elbow. Actually.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh.
So you threw it hard and it kind of jerked a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was kind of doing it at the end of my workout too. So it was.
He was already tired already. Huh?
Yeah, he was sore, so I had to ice it down. But it was good.
Okay.
It was good after that. But that's been my thing. Oh, my wife and I have been doing this class with Sifu Nate. He's on Instagram.
Okay.
His real name is Nathan Young, right? Nathan Young, is it? I think that's his last name. I'm sorry.
Shout out Sifu Nate.
Yes, shout out to Sifu Nate. He does Wing Chun, but we've been doing stuff with Kali Eskrima sticks.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
So my family.
Okay.
I don't know how much families. I mean, I think there's like 3
how
families
much
here.
Families? Okay.
I mean, sorry, I don't know how much families. So back in the day, so my grandpa's a grandmaster.
Oh, okay.
In Kali.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm also trained in Kali. We never actually talked about this. This was unplanned.
Oh, we should. Okay. I should.
So it's called Tobosa School of Kali Eskrima. And I trained in that since I was 16. It's just because we're in the family, so naturally, we kind of do it. I stepped away from that maybe when I was like 22. But it's funny that you mentioned Kali.
Okay.
As if we couldn't relate on more things.
Yeah.
I also have a background in Kali.
Oh my gosh.
By family association.
This is gonna be a crazy after podcast because we're gonna.
Yes, dude.
We might get into it.
I don't know how much more beverages we have, but yes.
But yeah, my wife and I have been taking a class with him. He's been teaching us some techniques. So we've been doing we did the 12 count. We did 3 different 12 counts.
Okay, I know up to 12. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we've been doing the block attack drills, but it's like a 5 count.
Sagan a la contra over here, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Inside,
you know, with the hands,
corner. Yeah. Got
you.
Bro, oh my god, I'm so excited right now. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I only say this because. So the thing about Kali is it's really one of those underground things where if you know, you know. And you can't fully appreciate it unless you've done it yourself. Until you have the stick. And then, I mean, stick translates to empty hand, which is why it goes hand in hand with Wing Chun and all that kind of stuff. But I appreciate that I can talk about Kali with you.
Okay.
Now, out of all people, I could talk about it with you now.
Awesome. Yeah.
Because there is just a level of appreciation that you know it, you train it, you got first-hand experience. So, thank you for training, bro.
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, it's good. I like the momentum, the fluidness of it, especially the back and forth. I like the back and forth.
Yeah.
We just got into using both sticks.
Okay.
But we've been just doing the hand, the check.
Yeah.
And then the one.
I do prefer one open hand just because I'd rather be able to use it. I didn't get to the level of mastery. So my cousin is the one who's carrying on the legacy of the Tobosa Kali Eskrima.
Okay.
Shastin, shout out to Shastin.
Okay.
So he's doing a lot of things, super connected. I used to go to tournaments, so it's a real tight-knit group. And one of the guys who we used to fight each other in the tournaments, we actually trained together jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So, I mean, we live on an island.
Yeah.
It's a small island. Obviously, we're going to run into people we know. But in regards to that realm, being able to share the mats with him, his name's Rod, being able to share the mats with him and have that kind of background in it is something that's really unique and really cool to do. So keep training. It's definitely something that's super beneficial. I haven't done it in a while, so.
Okay, so when I visit you in Vegas, I'm bringing the sticks.
Bring the sticks, or I'll probably have sticks there.
Yeah, well, I'll bring sticks just in case.
Can you bring sticks on a plane? This is a random question.
Probably, I'll just say maybe they're they're used for a tent or something. You know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah. There's a lot of different sticks out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of different sticks. I won't say it's a weapon. I'll just say maybe it's to line my bag. Make it
and keep it sturdy.
Keep it sturdy,
bro. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout outs to TSA or something.
Yeah. Anyways, don't take any of these ideas serious.
Yeah, it's a raunchy podcast, like I said.
So you did Kali, you did Wing Chun, boxing.
I didn't do Wing Chun. But
you didn't do Wing Chun.
I just did boxing, and then Kali stick so far. So
okay, and the great thing about that all kind of intertwines. When you hit when you understand it at a certain level, all the moves are similar. And you'll get to that point. You keep training, you'll see it. You'll see the similarities.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about for boxing and then Kali sticks is the center line.
Yep.
So with Kali, you try to go for angles and you wanna try to get off the center line and then you attack them from a different angle. But for boxing, it's a lot of pivots.
Yeah.
If you have good foot movement and then you go and you try to get different angles, but it's always about the center line where you're attacking and where you're blocking,
and that's why your jab is so strong too. You're only able to throw big angles because I throw my jab straight, or not me, but the reason why they teach you to throw your jab straight is because your eyes can't necessarily see how fast it's going. So if I throw my jab here, right, you're just gonna see boom, but by that time that's why it's 1-2.
Yeah.
Right? So I can throw my 2 because my 1 set my 2 up. So it's drilled in me because my uncle always used to tell me jab, 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 jab. Everything comes off of the jab, right? So it's easier to set up a punch instead of just going haymaker, 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 haymaker.
Yeah, I like. There's this one combo I've been doing. 2 jabs to the body, and then a 3 to the head.
Oh, is it like an overhand? Because you're going boom, boom. I'm thinking overhand. Kind of, more of a hook.
It's more of a hook.
Okay.
It's a 3. So it's the other one I like doing is a 2 to the body and then 2 to the top.
With your power hand.
Yeah, my power hand.
2 to the body and 2 to the top.
Straight.
Oh, yeah. It's funny that we're talking about So I got into training in MMA 2009. So this is when kind of UFC was just becoming more aware to the public, I guess you could say. And fighting MMA was a kind of a big thing here. Yeah. In 2009, that's when they used to have Destiny MMA at level 4s. And everybody,
that's right.
So everybody kind of had their own garage team. Right. If you weren't training at Bulls Pen or O2 and all these other gyms, everybody kind of had their garage team. So
that's so true.
I had a garage team, right?
Oh my god!
Shout out Island Rebels. That was back in the day, dude. So we trained in the garage. You know, we just wanted to be MMA fighters, you know. And there was the guys who kind of did it to be. It was a cool thing to do, you know, to be. So that's where I started my MMA journey. Was there, and it kind of goes into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But I started my MMA journey there. I never did fight MMA. I never fought in the ring, so I can't speak on that. I can only kind of speak from the training, jiu-jitsu side of it, and I kind of fell more into like the coaching, the supporting, you know, the cornering. I cornered a lot of fights for my friends, and I was in the environment, so it was definitely an interesting experience, especially during that time because more people were doing it. You know, more people were garage training compared to now where you almost need, and you see it on the biggest stage, UFC, right? Before, if you're super strong in jiu-jitsu, it showed, you know, and not everybody was well-rounded where they could do everything. You have to be able to do everything. But now, it's like the level of skill is so high now, right? So that's why you can't just garage train anymore. You can't just go fight and call up your friends, hey, we go fight in the ring next week. You can't do that anymore because the level of athleticism and
the
skill,
knowledge,
it's high, bro.
Yeah, it's way higher.
The floor is so high, man.
Yeah, okay, so speaking on that before we get to jiu-jitsu, because this will lead into it. I will talk about the Dustin Poirier Charles Oliveira fight.
Okay, never saw it.
You didn't saw it?
I didn't watch it.
Okay. So
I watched Jake Paul though. I know that's kind of a meme, but
that's ooh.
Anyways,
we can talk about that too.
yeah.
Hey, shout out to Tyron Woodley, man.
Bro, they were so different.
Ty Quill over there. Hey, shout out to Ty Quill.
We'll save that. We'll save that one.
We'll save that one.
Yeah.
I was really well, you didn't see the fight, but that's okay.
Okay.
So initially, who do you think who's gonna win that fight?
From Oliveira
and Poirier.
I'm with Oliveira.
Me too.
Did he win?
He did win.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay,
he did win.
It's almost like okay, yeah.
And the reason why is so like no bashing on Dustin. Dustin's a great.
He is.
He's a fantastic fighter.
He is.
The thing about Oliveira is he wasn't just like a jiu-jitsu guy. He kind of brought everything together. I mean, when I seen him fight Ferguson, that's when I knew. I was like, well, this guy's going for it. You know what I mean?
To be fair, Tony's been in the game a while, and not to take anything away from him.
Not to take anything away from him.
But over time, age gets to you.
Yep.
You know, you're not as sharp, you're not as fast, you're not as strong. And obviously the newer guys are always gonna eventually, I don't want to say always. Yeah. The newer younger guys are eventually gonna overtake you. But shout out to Tony.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I was thinking, I thought Ferguson was gonna just floor Oliveira, right? But then when I saw that fight, I was like, oh, this guy who he's kind of had up and down, you know, he lost to Holloway, you know what I mean? He's had some hard times in the UFC, but he brought it back.
And he pushed through, right?
He pushed through. And then even in this last fight, it was kind of a story of his whole career. Like he he was getting beat up in the first round.
Yeah.
He comes back in the second round. Third round, he goes and submits.
You know, going with that, I love that they show the backstory, where they came from, what they went through. This kind of goes through what we were talking about earlier. Like, he overcame all that stuff. It was Brazil, I think. They lived in like this one bedroom, right? And kind of sharing the same beds, the same meals, and like, you know, it's almost like you've seen this story multiple times. So that means that kind of says that struggle kind of breeds success if you know how to leverage it. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
And
it's poetic in a way. You know
it is. It's a beautiful thing. But he's super successful now. He's doing his thing. You know, he's enjoying it, right?
Solid. I mean, a lot of people, they always say like, oh, Oliveira gives up and stuff like that. But honestly, if you had an up and down career like that, and you're mentally strong to just keep pushing to,
there's
to
nothing that can even
exactly nothing.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure if that's probably the way in jiu-jitsu. That's the mentality they teach. But I will say, for Charles, he was able to persevere.
Yeah.
So we can lead that into jiu-jitsu now.
Okay.
All right. So with jiu-jitsu, how did you get into it, first of all?
So going back to, I started training MMA first. Yeah. So originally I was training MMA, 2009. And then I was driving by Costco in Waipio, and there was this sign, hey, MMA training, da-da-da-da-da. So it was down the road from Costco in Waipio, and this was United MMA. For those of you guys who watch ONE FC, that's Angela Lee, Christian Lee. I forget her husband's name, but so this was before they were world champs. This is when they
Bruno Pucci.
Yeah. Pucci, yeah.
So
good, you know them.
Yeah.
So before they were who they are now today, that's when they were, I think, in middle school. I think they're in middle school. So they're in middle school at the time. Okay. So I come into this gym and I'm wearing my Kali shirt, right? Because I'm like, okay, martial arts. Awesome. I don't know what else to wear. It's funny because from a standpoint of respect for the dojo, you don't wear another.
Yeah, right.
But that's all. I didn't know that. So I walk into the gym, right? It's a little small corner office. Awesome. I mean, they're big now. They got their own place. But it was, at the time, it was a little small corner office. I walk in, I kind of got some self-defense. Hey, how's it going? My name's Kahi. Introduce myself. Coach Ken, he's like, hey, just jump in. Let's get you going. So my first class, I'm training. We're doing some drills and that. And then at the end of class, that's when you kind of do like live sparring. Okay, let's practice what we drilled. And I would never, ever forget this moment for the rest of my life, because this is what started me on my jiu-jitsu journey. This little Asian stocky guy, mini Hulk, his name's Jared. I think he's still there. Okay. I think he's like 135 pounds. Right? Okay. So just to kind of give you guys a visual for those of you guys who aren't watching, I'm 6 feet. At the time, I was probably 220. Right. Jared's maybe 5'7". Sorry, I don't know if you're shorter or taller. Maybe
5'7", 130.
He's shorter. He has like 5'7". He's like short and stocky. Okay, so we're rolling, right? He catches me in an armbar, right? I tap. He does it over and over and over and over and over, and I'm just like, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to grapple. But anyways, that's what started my jiu-jitsu journey, and that's how I was like, okay, whatever's happening here, I need to learn it. So since then, I stuck with it. I've been through a lot of different schools, Alliance. I went to UFC. I did United MMA, Mad Tiger. Most of the schools on the island, I've trained at. Not all of them, but for the most part, I've been to most of the schools on the island. And now, officially, I'm a purple belt because I've been on and off training since 2009.
Okay.
And now I train at Jeremy Nita's place, Trickster Gym out in Kapolei. So that's kind of the background of my jiu-jitsu journey. Started in MMA and stuck with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Have you done tournaments?
I've done tournaments, yeah. Last time I competed, though, was 2015. And the interesting thing is I see myself more now. I don't really compete now. Just because my mentality on jiu-jitsu is not one of wanting to be a world champ. I learned to appreciate the art from a self-defense aspect and just being able to stay active, right? Because I'll take rolling around with some guy any day instead of walking on a treadmill, you know? So I know it sounds weird, but grappling, so they call it human chess. The reason why, it kind of stimulates you mentally when you understand jiu-jitsu on a certain level, just a basic foundational level. It's just a mental stimulant, and you just want more and more and more. It's a never-ending process of just we're doing it, we're learning. Okay, he tapped me out. What did I do wrong? It's self-improvement. That's what it is. So, yeah.
And it's a good thing you talk about like it being like chess, because it really is. I mean, especially for like grabbing the wrist is one thing, you know, or grabbing certain parts of the body, especially, you know, kind of there was one forgot who I was watching. I want to say it was Cormier, but he was talking
Daniel.
about DC. I forgot what he was saying, but he was talking about how some guys maybe they'll fake, you know, they'll grab something, they'll fake it when they're trying to actually draw reaction.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that is so crazy that jiu-jitsu is like, you know, grappling is like that, because, you know, you hear Joe Rogan, especially when doing commentary. I mean, he talks about it.
But he's an advocate for it because he's a black belt under Eddie Bravo. He was training when jiu-jitsu wasn't necessarily. I mean, it's big now. Everybody knows jiu-jitsu now. But he came from that era where it's kind of like Gracie's and jiu-jitsu. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. So to gain interest in that, so like that always interested me, just watching or just listening to the way they explain certain things, like, oh, he's baiting it, you know, he's trying to draw a reaction over here, or this is where he wants to be, you know what I mean? And then if you didn't have that commentary, you just think it's just people rolling around.
Right. What are they doing?
You know?
These two.
Why are they hugging? You know?
Yeah, these two guys are cuddling each other. What the heck? So there's a running joke. It's aggressive cuddling.
Aggressive cuddling. Or aggressive spooning over there.
Folding you into a pretzel with your clothes on. That's kind of the two running memes.
Okay.
I guess.
So going into the aspect of like, you know, going in grappling. So what's your mentality when you go into it? Like it's an art to you, but then when you spar with somebody, you know what I mean? What's your mentality?
My mentality now?
I'll say back then and then now.
Okay. Yeah. So the reason why jiu-jitsu stuck out to me coming from an MMA perspective is there's a saying, right, in training, leave your ego at the door. You don't fully understand what that means until somebody who's smaller than you, who's less strong than you, can break your arm or can put you to sleep at will. And you're trying so hard to not get tapped out, and that's why. So you leave your ego at the door. It sets up an environment where your only choice is to be humble or quit or leave, right? So I loved it because although I trained MMA, and there's a level of aggressiveness that you got to be aggressive to hit somebody in the head. You know what I mean? And I was never really that person. You know, I wanted to train because I wanted to stay active and I wanted to learn something, but also I wanted to share something with somebody and not have to hurt them. So what jiu-jitsu brought to me was the opportunity to train techniques 1,000% on the mat, and I don't actually have to hurt this person, right? So it's like you really have to experience it. You know, you got to be on the mats, you got to be choked out a few times, and a lot of the fights, you know, there's a lot of people who watch, oh, just stand up or just do this and that. But it's real different when you have somebody who has a foundation of jiu-jitsu and you're on the ground and he's holding on to you, maybe. Yeah. It's like, oh, just rip his arm off. It's not as easy as a lot of people think it is, you know. So just really staying humble, staying grounded, and staying open to the fact that at any moment anybody could be better than me. So not to be hot-headed, but just stay level-headed, staying present. You have to be fully present to see what's going on, you know, and being right on the mat. And that's what I love about it the most, is that I can be fully present in this sparring session. We call it rolling. When we're rolling, I can be fully present. And just, it's a freeing feeling. I don't really know how to explain it. For me, it's freeing, you know.
I get what you're saying, because like for me with like learning like boxing and stuff like that, it's more of a I just respect. I don't think I want to go into any competitions and stuff, but I respect the creativity like you can get with it, or even with jiu-jitsu, the creativity you can get with your the holds. It's the art of it. You know what I mean? So it's. Yeah, it's hard to explain that to people, because it's like if you don't if they don't do it, and maybe some people do it for competition. They like competition, which is great.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I like learning new things. I like being experimental. I mean, I do a set like this.
Adventurous, man.
That's experimental. I like being adventurous with things. I like learning stuff. You know what I mean? Being analytical, but also just kind of not thinking about it too much. It's more like it's there. You know what I mean? And I can feel the motion. So then when I tell people like, oh yeah, I learned certain things, like maybe it's not interesting to them, but then for me it's just, I don't know,
because you appreciate the technique, and the knowledge behind it, right?
I appreciate the technique and the work it went into doing a technique like that. You know what I mean? Or to even create something like that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, there's just levels to it. And I think a part of being humble is just there's another part of it where you got to just be thankful. Because there's always going to be somebody who's better than you, but you learn to just appreciate the journey. A lot of the things in jiu-jitsu you can translate it to real life. It's going to be tough some days. Some days I'm going to get tapped out 10 times, but that's okay. What do we learn from it? How do we improve? What do we not do, or what do we do next time? So I'm really like about this whole life thing now. We're hitting, I'm already 30, so we're hitting that age where it's like we're not young and partying, but we're not yet old, and so we're like in that middle ground. We're in such an interesting age right now. So I'm appreciating these life lessons and the connections that I can kind of see that correlate in all the things that I do.
Yeah, I get that, because I mean, for like a podcaster, like when I started my podcast, this is like I wanted to experience new things, especially you wanted to get into the world of like what other people will do and stuff. So even going into one of my past episodes, I did one with someone named Samantha Lockwood. She did hot yoga.
Yoga?
I mean,
I don't know what that is. What's hot yoga?
Well, you go in, or Bikram yoga. Actually, for hers, it was Bikram yoga. So you're in this really hot room. Kelsey did it with me. You're in this really hot room, humid. I think it was 75% humidity, something like that. And it was like Vegas, but you're in Vegas and the Philippines at the same time.
Okay. Super humid, super hot.
Yeah.
And for those of you guys who don't know, yoga is not actually easy.
Yeah.
To hold a pose there's muscles that you didn't even know you had until you're holding that certain pose. So. And
it is crazy because I did the whole session. I did the whole session right before I did a podcast with her.
Oh my goodness.
And I actually passed out in the middle of it.
Oh my god!
Like 20 minutes in, I passed out, and it was
like
crazy.
Hydration, or
I don't know. I was sweating a lot, but what I remember was I was blinking. This is crazy. This is a crazy feeling. I actually really enjoyed this, but I was blinking, and my blinking started slowing down a little bit.
Oh my god!
And it was crazy. I had my hands on my hips, and I started blinking. I looked up at the light, and the light just kind of faded out. And I thought it was a long blink. But then when I woke up, I guess, I tried to open my eyes, and I guess my eyes were open, but there was nothing. It was just black. And I was just trying to feel the ground. Luckily, I didn't fall over.
Okay.
I just kind of
So it was a brief moment.
I don't know how long it was. Well, I was already out.
Okay.
But I was like, I guess, my wife was saying I was kind of swaying and stuff like that.
God.
And I right before I didn't really fall over. I just kind of heard her voice, like the instructor's voice. My friend Sam, she was saying like, boss man, sit down. I was like, okay.
Oh my god.
And I had my eyes open. I felt my eyes open.
Yeah.
And
your vision was...
My vision was off. It was gone.
Dude.
And I felt the ground, and then I went like this. I just wiped my face.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, what the heck just happened? Like my sight came back and everything.
That's what it's like to be... So we're talking about proper rear naked chokes.
Okay.
I think this kind of leads into that.
Okay.
When you get put to sleep, you don't necessarily feel anything. That's kind of what you kind of went through was pretty much what happens.
That's awesome.
I blinked, but you also it feels like you took like a 6-hour nap.
It kind of felt, it felt revitalizing.
Right.
A little bit, yeah.
And in regards to getting put to sleep in a controlled environment with the right person and instructor, it's safe, and like you said, it feels like you're energized after. I took a nap, I'm ready to go, but what happened?
Yeah, I mean, like for me, it was like, she was telling me, okay, take a break, they'll do so much.
Drink some water.
Drink some water. Well, I was almost out. With my hydro flask. I should have brought more, honestly, but yeah, it was like an hour session, and I was able to finish it out, which is crazy that I was able to finish it out. I think I lost 5 pounds from that, just from sweating.
So this was in a humid, hot environment.
Yeah.
So
in one room.
I've done a session of yoga not in that kind of environment, and that's already hard. I think it was in AC. So I can't imagine what you must have been kind of going through with the humidity, the temperature, and trying to hold poses. But you did it though. Shout out, man. That's
thank you. Yeah, my wife did way better than me, but yeah, I mean, I think if I could do it, I think anybody could do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I respected yoga, but the thing is, I respected it even more after doing that, just because I was like, wow, that's a new experience. I never experienced that kind of like, I'm about to pass. I'm passing out. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've never experienced that before. So,
well, I'm glad you're safe, by the way, too.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't fall over and I just full on just got a concussion or something like that. Because I was standing up when I fell. I was falling.
Goodness, brother. Hey, it's a blessing to have you here, man.
Hey,
I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you're healthy.
I think this is before we met, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this was before. Yeah. Yeah, this is before we met.
Okay, so you're good. You're already good, bro.
Yeah, I was already
You just
good.
came from the gym when I met up with you. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, you just came from the gym or something, and I was like, okay, we're talking story.
Yeah,
so.
see, like we're doing now.
Yeah.
So talking about experiencing, right?
Okay.
And respecting the art.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind showing me some maybe a couple holds? I'll hold the mic. Okay,
we might have to adjust the set a little bit.
Well, we can. Oh, okay. Well, we can
just kind of move the table.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do.
I'll just
because of the camera angles.
Or they can get this one.
Okay.
This one right here. Right. But I'll just move this forward, right? Yeah. And then excuse me, guys. Oh yeah, I'm just talking with 2 mics right here. Okay, so
I'm next to him now. But you might want to turn that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn that way.
Okay. My wife.
Editing.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're not editing though.
I don't know what we're doing. maybe we are editing. Can we do this? Or okay.
Okay. So you want to do?
Let me. Sorry for the listeners. You guys just have to watch the YouTubes. Okay, so I'm gonna stay on the mic, and then Kahi will explain with the other mic. So.
But we're doing a rear naked.
Yeah, we could do a rear naked. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me just do it from my knees. I'll just do it this way.
Okay.
So generally, when you do a rear naked choke, I'll try my best to articulate it for the people who are listening.
Okay. I'll articulate how I feel about.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put you to sleep. Just so you know, I'm just
gonna. No, that's fine. I want to feel
Okay, so
a little bit
right now I'm behind him right now. First step is I'm bringing my right arm underneath his chin.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the key is here.
Okay.
Right? For a real naked choke, it's a blood choke. It could also be a short choke, windpipe choke, but we'll not get too technical. Just for the standard RNC rear naked choke, we want to be right here.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice and comfortable.
Yep. Best kind of social distancing right there.
This is the best social distancing. Right. So first step is here. Make sure you tuck underneath the chin, and I want to stay tight, right? So the camera kind of here, because if I'm like this and you try to move your head, it's kind of, I'm staying kind of nice and tight to you, right? So
yeah, it's good. So
we're here. Second part is I want to figure four my arms, right? Mm-hmm. Then I come around the head this way, palm up, right here. Okay. So before I do that, the choke. A lot of people think the choke comes from doing this. The choke actually comes from flexing my chest into the body.
Oh, okay.
Here. So it's not this motion, it's this motion. And I'll show you so you can feel it. So it's not necessarily this motion. Although you could probably still choke somebody out, it's that.
Oh, okay.
Right? So big difference from this, flexing the arm, to putting my chest into the choke.
Interesting.
There. So That's the basic rear naked choke there.
Because you're cutting off. It's that. Okay,
So
that's
the two carotids.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this side, this carotid here, this side here, right? So I can also come this way, same thing, but I'm doing the same motion with my chest. Is I'm flexing my chest and I'm bringing my elbow into my stomach. There. All right. So
That's interesting.
that's your basic rear naked choke.
Huh.
So yeah.
I kind of want to be put to sleep. No.
I mean.
Well. I mean, we're gonna end the episode if that happens.
Okay. Yeah. We'll say that. We can, but
How about a darts choke? I always want to see like a darts choke.
shoot, we're gonna need a little more room for that if you want to.
Okay. Let's do it.
So darts, you're gonna have to turn around though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We totally just started training right now.
Yeah, that's what we do on Kampai Sugai. We're very experimental, you know. We do whatever we want on this podcast. Okay.
So you're gonna have to go lay on your side.
Okay.
Lay on your side.
Okay.
Here.
I'll do
But legs towards me.
Okay. Legs towards you.
So this is the first time I've ever done jits with a microphone in my hand. So we want to be here.
All
I'm
right.
in your half guard, right? We got the legs.
Okay.
So
Half
for those
guard.
of you guys who don't know half guard, one leg in, one leg out, half guard. We're here, right?
Okay.
For the most part, he's probably going to be leaning up towards me with his hands up, right? Because you're defending yourself.
Okay.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Kinda
Yeah.
lean towards me, just
Right.
a bit, right? There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I'm gonna have to drop the mic for this, so hopefully the audio. You can hold it for me if you
Yeah,
want. Okay. I'm gonna drop this mic. All right. So generally, this is just a darts from the half guard. You can get darts from a double leg and stuff, but I'll just show from the half guard. So I want to be here, and I want to pull this arm across. All right. We'll pull it this way. Work around the mic. This arm's gonna come this way, and I want to come, and I want to be tight right here. Right. So the detail here is I want to cup the back of his head. Okay. Kind of like I'm just doing this right there. Just kind of motion. I guess like I'm curling.
Oh, that's pretty tight.
But so I'm here, and I want to be here, right? So this is the important part is shooting my arm all the way through here. And I know you guys can't see my bottom part, but my
people can hear.
my left leg or my left foot, I'm gonna block. I'm blocking his leg. He can feel it because I want to bring this leg out.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
So now I'm gonna be here, right? So same thing like the rear naked. I'm gonna figure four my arms this way. Right? Here. So I can kind of barely get the choke just because he's a little bit bigger, so I can kind of come here this way.
Yeah.
I know I can finish the choke already. Coming this way. See? How does that feel?
That's tight.
Okay, so there's other details, but just for the basic part, we want to be here. Boom. This hand. Right over. Boom. Tucking into my elbow. I'm going to come up. Put it right on the back. Then same thing. I can bring it. I'm squeezing my chest and my elbow together. So that's...
Oh, interesting, because I feel it over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
But I can come out.
Hey, thank you.
There's other ways to do it, but the beautiful thing about Jiu Jitsu, and we can go ahead and fix the set real quick.
We can. I gotta be careful with the beer.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun one.
Hey, you should do a Jiu Jitsu podcast.
I think there is one, you know.
Well, I mean, like you just do it on. You just.
Okay,
you do the what is that, not the Jennifer Lopez or the Britney Spears, you know what I mean?
You think I'm Britney Spears, bro?
No.
No, I'm kidding.
Hey, shouts to Britney Spears.
Yeah. So okay, what was I saying? The beautiful thing about jiu-jitsu is that not every move is gonna work for everybody because everybody has different body types. So just because I could finish a darts on you from that, because you're bigger, you know, you're bulkier, but there's other angles, there's other techniques that I have to apply from somebody who's smaller, who's lengthier. So jiu-jitsu is a beautiful thing because you make it according to you, according to how your body works. Just because I can put my leg this way doesn't mean you can put your leg that way. But I'll teach you the foundational move, and then from there you're going to add your nuances and you're going to make it work for you. So it's almost like it's your canvas. You know, if I'm trying to be so articulate, it's your canvas. Here's your basic skills, and then you kind of just
you find a way to get there.
Yeah.
It's like having the result. Yeah, thank you for doing that. I mean,
Hey, shout out to you, bro.
Hey, that's awesome. You know, what I figured out, and that's actually gonna make me look at fights a little bit more different.
Good. I want to hear your experience of it.
Yeah, because especially for like darts chokes, because I was thinking, I guess from the half guard, once you put your leg over, I feel like it's game over after that. You know?
Yeah. There, of course, there's other moves.
Yeah.
There's more advanced stuff, but the darts choke is more commonly caught from like when they shoot a double leg, right?
Okay.
So when somebody shoots a double leg, their head's here.
Yeah.
Right. So usually I can either guillotine, which is more common in your darts.
Yeah.
Or depending where his arm is, if I can get his arm in front of me, like how I had to put your arm in front of me first, so I could shoot my arm through. Right. So jiu-jitsu is more about the position of the other person and how you work around that. Of course, you can muscle it. We call it muscle it.
Yeah.
You can throw most of the techniques out the window and just be really strong, and that's fine too. It works for people. A lot of wrestlers are really strong, and it works for them. But the true nature of jiu-jitsu, aka the gentle art, right, is figuring out how to work with what your opponent is giving you, right? So if your arm wasn't that way, I could just do a different move. If something else was happening, I'll just do a different move. And then you get super intricate where there's a move for a move for a move for a move, and that's where it gets chess-like.
Like you were saying with the double, you know, someone's going for the double, right? You can go for a guillotine or you can go for darts, you know. And then if you get the back, you know, there's different options. You can start punching them, you know, or
you could in MMA or in the street,
in the street, you know what I mean, or MMA. I mean, you can start punching them, but then you can go for rear naked.
Yeah.
Or I mean, if their arm is flailing around, you can go for arm bar. You know,
yes.
You
if they're too committed to posting off of you,
right?
I actually did it earlier today in practice. It's funny that you mentioned that.
Oh, okay.
So it's where your opponent is giving you the openings, not necessarily you're forcing it, or you get to the level where you're setting up certain moves, but it's really reaction, action, setting this up, doing that, doing this. So it's really intricate, I guess, at the highest level.
I didn't realize, one thing I learned from that, I didn't realize how much the chest comes into play, because you know, when you're doing the choke, I felt the chest kind of pushing everything forward, but then also.
But did you feel the difference? So remember how I was kind of saying, a lot of people think this is the choke.
Yeah.
And it can be. Maybe you have big arms and you're really strong.
Yeah.
But for your average Joe, right, he's going to have his arms here and this. Did you feel the difference from this and this?
It felt like everything.
Compressed.
It felt everything was compressed.
Yeah.
Which is weird. That was a weird feeling. But I mean, I like learning about that, because that is, you know, that it makes me respect that move even more. Because I was thinking, you know, it was more the arms, but then with the chest, it really, I could see all the blood
stronger.
Yeah, it feels stronger.
Yeah, and I had to give you two examples because I don't think you'd be able to fully see or appreciate the technique done correctly if I didn't show you the other way. Of course, there's other ways, but that's just one of the most common ways. Is like, just muscle it. We call this the figure four, right? Because it's a four.
Yeah.
You know, I had to show you that kind of common mistake.
Figure four.
Compared to
shout out to Ric Flair.
Yeah, Ric Flair. But you know, I had to show you that way, and then to show you the proper technique. And again, guys, I'm only a purple belt, so my technique might not be flawless for you black belts or brown belts out there, or other advanced purple belts. So this is kind of just the foundational teaching of these two moves. Just putting a disclaimer out.
Hey, you know what? Hey, that's another round of applause right there. You know, hey, thank you, Mr. Kahi. Yeah. So for like, actually, I want to get into belts, right? Because you know the belt system is a little different.
Yeah.
It's very different, actually. Yeah. So how does that work? It's based on kind of the dojo, or how if they want to progress you or they don't want to progress you? How does that even work?
So, let's start off with the belt system. Right? You have your white belt, blue belt, purple, brown, black. Like you said, it's kind of unique to the dojo. It's really unique to what lineage they fall under, if they're going to carry on the way that they were taught. Some people, they have like, tests? I guess they have kind of tests. Okay, do 50 moves or 100 moves. As a blue belt, you should know these moves, so do these moves. The way that I kind of lean more towards is that when your sensei, your master, or your coach, whatever you guys prefer to call the leader of your gym, he kind of watches you through class. He or she watches you progress. And then from there, when they see that you're ready and fit, they can give you stripes. Some people do stripes. Some people just go straight to the next belt. For the most part, I think it's a striping system. So you have 4 stripes within each belt.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh,
so you kind of have like a little accomplishment along the way, you know. But for the most part, it's either going to be a test or it's going to be you're ready. Even if you think you're not ready, when professor says you're ready, you're more likely ready, right? So.
And for certain moves, do they? I mean, like for any martial arts, do they teach you different holds or applications to it as you progress in the belt, or is it everybody just kind of learns the same thing?
So there's your foundational moves, right? Your guard, half guard, you know, quarter guard, all that kind of stuff, and then there's the advanced moves based off of those moves. So say I'm doing a guard. Okay, so from guard do a guillotine. Okay, guard do a kimura. Guard do a bump sweep. And then from there, the higher belts, okay, bump sweep into something else, side guard into something else, mount into something else. So it's more just moves progressing to different moves. What do you do if this person's this way? What do you do if this person's facing your back? So that's kind of at the higher levels, you know, and you're prepared for almost any situation, I guess, right? So, and the interesting thing about most black belts, or even when you just kind of advance in the art, you go from learning 100 moves. Usually when you hit purple belt, so I'm purple belt now, you know, you learn all these moves, and once you hit purple belt, you kind of trim down in a sense where you know what moves you're not going to do and what moves don't work best for your body. And then you kind of, by the time you get black belt, you really have like these 2 or 3 moves that you're really good at. And really good in a sense where, I mean, you can hit it on almost anybody, unless, you know, you're playing at a super high level.
The Bruce Lee way, right?
Right.
You know?
One move 1,000 times instead of 1,000 moves one time.
Right.
Right.
Interesting. So what would you say is your go-to? Maybe let's just say.
So it depends where I'm at.
Okay.
So where I'm at in my jiu-jitsu journey now is I have a set of moves for different positions. So I mean, if we're talking about, so if somebody's in my guard, we'll just start there, because guard's the most basic thing, meaning that
full guard,
my leg is wrapped around my opponent.
Right.
Right. My moves that I go to is either going to be an arm bar. From the arm bar, when he reacts off of the arm bar, I'll shoot the triangle. From the triangle, I'll shoot the omoplata. And you know what's funny is that's the basic sequence that we learn in white belt. Arm bar, triangle, omoplata, arm bar. And it just clicks with my body. And that's just kind of what I know what works for me, and I stick to it.
So you're a taller guy too, so
longer limbs.
Limbs.
Yeah, triangle's good. They have De La Hiva guard. They have kind of all these spinning around to the back, but longer limbs work if you know how to use them. But and I don't know if this is fact, but I've heard a lot that jiu-jitsu was actually built for the smaller guy. Meaning that his angles that he has to cut is shorter. The moves that he has to do is a little bit easier to work around longer limbs.
Oh, true, because if he tries to get it around the neck,
there's less movement. Right. So there's so much. I mean, we could spend the whole couple of episodes talking about jiu-jitsu, but we're just kind of touching on the foundation. But it's a real intricate art, to say the least, I guess.
That's really fascinating, because then it really shows me like it really gave me a better perspective of people in like they're going into a fight now. Now I'm gonna look at different fights at a different angle, especially for like if they're on the ground. So if someone's in their full guard, half guard, maybe side control. You know what I mean? It'll show me different things, huh?
And there's one detail I highlighted when we're doing the darts choke. When you felt me put my foot on your leg, and we call it stapling. Right. When your leg's in kind of my heel. Yeah. It's something that's kind of like small. It's a small detail, but without that, I wouldn't be able to bring my other leg out. So feeling that from the bottom, did you feel trapped? I mean, what did it feel like?
Yeah, I felt pressure more so. It felt it was harder for me to move or scoot out or you know what I mean, do simple things to get out.
And a lot of the details that people miss unless you understand it and you're watching a fight, where it's like, okay, his foot's a certain way, oh, he's facing a certain way, or his arms are here, his legs are there. To the average person who doesn't train, it's kind of just like, Okay, just stand up. Okay, just do this.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why.
Yeah.
There's a reason why my arm's here. There's a reason why. There's purpose to movements when you hit a certain level in grappling, I guess. Not just jiu-jitsu. I'm sure that wrestling and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
that reminds me of a fight. BJ Penn, I think it was BJ Penn. He did this one. I think it was against Jens Pulver. But
back in the day, throwback.
Yeah, throwback. Yeah. Well, this is I think the second Jens Pulver fight. But
Okay.
he got him in a rear naked, and he trapped the arm using his right leg, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was genius because then Jens Pulver could only at that point he was like, okay, I can only use one arm.
It's funny that you bring that up because even at that time, right now, these days, jiu-jitsu, that's a common move. You chop the arm, and I couldn't fully show that because we weren't laying on the ground. There's not too much room here.
Yeah.
But so there's a seatbelt grip, right? We're using a seatbelt, kind of how I was holding you here.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So the arm trap comes from this hand. If I'm holding you, my hand that's underneath can grab your wrist, right?
Oh,
grab your left wrist, boom, it's trapped. What that's gonna enable me for do is I'm setting up that my leg can now come over. I'm gonna bring my legs together. Now your arm's trapped. Now I can easily get a choke because now I only have to deal with one arm instead of fighting two arms and we're sweating and da, da, da. So if I can lock out one arm, I'm setting up. I guess in regards to chess, I'm on step 7, but I gotta do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 first.
That's
So
set
that's
up.
kind of
Yeah.
maybe not 7, maybe 3. Step 3.
Yeah.
Too much on that.
That's the advance.
Yeah. I'm not even there. So
Oh no! What are you talking about, man? But that was the that's getting that set up, that advanced, like chess. I mean, chess is the same way. So
yeah.
that's great. So let me ask you, because you're moving to Vegas.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have a place in mind that you're gonna train at, or?
So I do. I forgot. I think they're called the Academy or something. But I pretty much just looked for whatever school was the closest, especially because I don't have connections like I do here. There's no like sentimental connection either. So I'm just like, whatever school is closest to my house, I'm there. So I did find one. I'm kind of excited, especially because when you train, you really want to put yourself to the test. The only way to do that is to either do competition or you just go to a different school, train with different people. Especially because it's a big transition in life, right? I'm not going to be in Hawaii anymore. I'm going to be in Vegas. And Vegas, aside from the weather, it's not too far off because it's the 9th island.
Yeah.
There's still
Zippies is there?
Not yet. I think they're still opening. And I could be wrong.
Oh,
you guys,
okay.
Whoever's watching the video, you guys
Well,
can
maybe
look
by
it
the
up.
time it comes out,
It's probably going to be open already. Maybe it's open. I don't know. I know that they are planning to open one up there. So there's definitely a big Hawaii influence at this point. I'm sure a lot of people know somebody or are themselves moving to Vegas. And just something to kind of experience the growth and all that. So, yeah.
And it's nice to train at a different dojo. You get different a perspective, especially for like different opponents too, because then you get a better feel of like okay, maybe this will work on this person, this one, like you were saying before, like different holds work on different sizes.
Yeah, and the great thing is everybody has something to offer, whether it's your first time on the mat or your 1,000th time on the mat. Everybody has something to offer you if you're open to seeing that. Because even though I'll roll with a white belt and maybe I can easily do some moves, but there's always going to be something that I can learn from a roll. Whether it's am I doing this, am I doing that, how can I improve here? There's always something there for you to pick up. Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Was that a cheers moment?
That's a cheers moment.
Okay.
So crazy. So I want to touch about this because I don't think I've asked you, but why are you moving to Vegas?
So kind of, it's just what I was saying earlier. I lived here my whole life, born and raised in Hawaii. I mean, I just want to experience something different, and more so, I want to see how I show up in life. Because I know how I show up here. I'm comfortable here. I can just hang out with, got all my friends. We can just kind of go Pauhana, whatever. But I'm all about self-growth now, right? I want to put myself in an environment where it's not too extreme. It's still Vegas. I can, got some aunties and uncles out there. But I'm in a place where I can't just hit up the boys and be like, oh, yeah, come my house, drink down the road. I can't do that. I have to figure out how to make life work and how to be the best that I can be in the environment that I'm in.
Mm.
And it's really just about self-growth, really.
Oh.
That's what it is. And of course, if it doesn't work, I can come back home. But to really be there is what I'm interested in.
That's a good challenge because I mean you're in a different environment. I always told my wife that I really wanted to move like Seattle and stuff like that.
Seattle's nice.
Actually, the last time I visited Seattle made me realize I wanted to live kind of on the outskirts of Seattle.
Oh, okay, not in by the Ferris wheel and Pike's Place and all the hustle and bustle downtown.
I mean, there's a lot of a lot of it is like downtown Honolulu, so you know you don't really have to like get a car.
Close buildings and all that.
You could just walk everywhere.
Yeah.
But like on the outskirts is more. It made me feel like Keolu Hills and stuff like that.
Okay.
More on those other environments. So that's one thing I learned from our last trip. But when you live outside of a place that you've been your whole life, I mean it's a different environment, making new friends.
Yeah.
Just meeting new people, opportunities. I mean opportunities are everywhere, but especially in the mainland because
it's so different.
it's just so different. It's a different environment. So yeah, that's a great challenge.
Yeah, and I was such a. It's a meme now. I'm gonna say island boy, but every time we say island boy, it's a meme now. But before that, I was such an island boy. Like I'm good. I'm gonna stay in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm gonna just chill. But what opened my eyes is, after my grandma passed away, I traveled. I went to Utah. I've experienced such a different culture, and it wasn't everything that I thought it was. We're like, the howlies, and like it's not that. It's really not that, and that's kind of what just I guess piqued my interest. Like, hey, what else is here? Hey, there's all these things that I thought wasn't actually it. And aside from the fact that there's so much room and there's so much space and there's so much things to do, it's like, okay, I'm gonna be this person who grew up in Hawaii, but I also want to see what I become if I just go out there and try to do something, so.
This is a very growing episode, actually. This is all about growth.
And that's what I'm about. I'm really just about self-improvement. Not really worrying too much about others. Just kind of, again, going back to what I said earlier about just what value can I provide with the people that I come in contact with whatever I do. How can I bring value? Because I know that we have one life. Yeah. And, it's kind of just a saying. Oh, yeah, you got one life. But, I really take that to heart because I know I understand how valuable life is. We got one life, so be the best and just do the best you can with it. Yeah,
definitely. So just to kind of wrap things up, especially this will be released in January. What kind of growth are you looking forward to in 2022? I mean, what are we doing here?
That's a great question. So I'm actually re-enrolling in college to finish.
Oh, nice!
And so
I'm really happy about that.
So there's only maybe one or two people, I could be wrong, in my family who actually got a college degree. So one of my biggest goals is to go and get educated and finish my degree in business, finance, and management. We didn't really talk about stocks. We'll probably talk about that later. So I do have experience day trading and investing and all that. But there's a saying that I use for my life is that I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. Meaning that I've done a lot of things, but I didn't necessarily master one thing. But I'm trying to use that to serve me now. Going back to school, finishing the degree, going back to the workplace. So I haven't worked in the last 3 years because I've been investing and trading, but it's something that I feel that if I'm going to be in a new environment, the best way to get out there in the community is to go work, right? Go get paid, go out, go do something. And so returning back to the workplace, I'm a new dad, right? So you guys didn't know I'm a new dad. My daughter is 4-month-old. So that's already a journey in itself. Becoming a better husband. There's a lot. But those are the 4 main things that I'm working on. I'm also thinking about removing my tattoos.
Really?
And after I get my degree, trying to enlist in the Air Force as an officer. It's not a guarantee because there's a lot of competition out there, but just trying it.
That's pretty big.
So I've definitely planned the next 5 years and what I want it to look like, and just breaking it down into smaller steps like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Right? step 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's incredible. Wow. I didn't even know you're thinking about removing your tattoos. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of big, you know. So listeners, I got
It's
finger
big.
tattoos, I got hand tattoos, and I have a tattoo on my neck, and those ones gotta go if I'm gonna even. I can't even take the ASVAB if I have the tattoos. So it's a step that I'm willing to take, and I'm gonna actually vlog the whole journey.
Oh, that's awesome.
On my YouTube channel. I don't know what I'm gonna brand it yet, so I'm not gonna promote it.
Yeah.
But I will be vlogging the whole journey from when we get to Vegas in January.
Okay, let me know so I can
Yeah,
shout it
bro.
out. But
Yeah, bro.
oh man, dude, I'm super happy for you, man. I'm super happy about what's in store for you. You know, especially, I mean, it's all a growing journey. I agree to that because for what I'm doing, I don't even know what's gonna happen tomorrow. But I'm always thinking about like, oh man, I'm so excited about what's gonna happen today and tomorrow, and I don't even have to think about like what other people are doing, especially for like podcasters or even content creators. It's just like I'm enjoying what I'm doing now, you know, especially here. I'm enjoying it, and whether or not I move to the mainland or whatever, it's still I feel like I'm progressing, and I'm happy that what you're doing is really progressing. I think that's pretty awesome.
Well, it's a real skill to learn how to balance being present and being planning your future.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of get lost in being too caught up in the future, too caught up in the past, but to really master being present and planning the future is a real good skill to have. So
yeah, to master being content, but also looking forward
staying
motivated,
hungry.
That's something that a lot of people have. I feel like I have trouble with. You know what I mean? Because it's either they want more or they're so satisfied with what they have they don't want to pursue other things. You know? What I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's never enough.
It's never enough.
Yeah.
And I like that mentality because I feel like we click on that where it's just like we have everything we need, but we still want more. But it's like we don't need more. We just want to see what else is there.
Yeah, it's because of social media, man. We're all connected. We can see what so and so has, and it's like, wait, how come I can't have that? You know, so it's
true.
It's really you really got to master yourself, especially in the world we live in now. So that's what I'm practicing.
That is so cool, man. Kahi, I can't thank you enough for coming here and talking with me, and I hope people learned something. This was an educational episode too, right?
I hope that I provided value for somebody out there.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, people learn about different holds. We never had that kind of podcast, but I'm happy because I like doing experimental stuff. I like changing it up, you know, especially this is filmed, so people got to see something. You know what I mean?
I think that's good. It's really awesome to be here. This has been 2 years in the making.
Yeah, 2 years.
You know, aside from everything, it's awesome to be your friend.
Yeah,
and just to be involved in your life. It's a blessing for me. So.
Yeah, and to be able to connect with someone like yourself, I mean, I'm very thankful to connect with you as well as your wife. So, and I'm really happy for your new baby. We didn't even cover that, but
that's
I mean,
okay.
that was a huge part.
I feel like we can have a bunch of different episodes.
That's
later
true.
On, so.
There's so much more to cover. I feel like it's so crazy. That's awesome. I think that's the beauty of podcasting, right? You can't just sum up everyone's life in one episode. Yeah, honestly.
Right.
So. I hope people found value in this episode, and especially, you know, with the holds. I mean, if people learn something, hey, it's not all in the arm. You got to use the chest.
Don't go trying it on your friends. Yeah, please don't do that.
I mean, if you want to try it at home, just try with a pillow. Okay, you know what I mean.
Or sign the waiver and show up to class in a controlled environment.
Don't drink it. Yeah, don't drink too.
Yeah, don't do that either.
You know, leave your ego at the door.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Amen, brother. Amen.
So, what we like to do on Kampai Sugai is we like to cheers at the end. So, if you're at home, I want you guys to raise your glass. And this is to you, Kahi. This is to a great 2022 with everything you're doing. I mean, going back to school, that's pretty amazing. I didn't even know that. That's pretty amazing. And removing your tattoos, which is a huge thing, honestly. Going back into the workforce, which is just honestly, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Because it's a different lifestyle, but
Returning. Yeah.
you know. So this is to everything that's gonna go on in 2022, ups and downs, but I think you're gonna come out on top because you got that mentality and you got that heart to push through, you know. And I can't wait to go visit you in Vegas, dude.
I hope you do, man. I'm excited for
Yeah,
it.
we're gonna gamble.
Yes, and that's another episode.
That's another episode. We couldn't do it right now, but I think we have enough for here.
Yeah, I'll give them a teaser. I was a high roller gambler.
There you go.
There's your teaser.
There's a
Keep you
teaser.
guys- yeah.
We'll have you on again, but thank you, brother, for joining us.
Appreciate it. It's a blessing to be here, man.
Kampai.
Kampai. Salute.
Salute.